welcome to the Knitting Project. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family and my animals. This is episode 120 and today is Monday the 31st of January 2022. Welcome if you are a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am recording a little bit earlier in the week than normal. I'm still going down to look after my daughter because she's still not very well, bless her. But her fiance is off work today, so he's looking after her. So I thought I'll take this opportunity to get the podcast recorded today. So I hope you'll bear with me that there's not a huge amount of progress on my projects, but there is a little bit, to be fair. So if we go into admin, we have 2 knit-alongs going on at the moment. You can post either on Instagram or Ravelry. There will be a hashtag below this video. It should actually sort of be in the heading, I think, if it's worked right on YouTube. And we've got the square a day count, where we're working on a small part on a bigger project every day, and we have got the shawl finish along, so we're working on our shawl whips. But of course, if you have a stash, then every skein is a whip in waiting. And if you don't have a stash and you buy your skein just to make a shawl, the minute it gets into your house, it's your stash and therefore is a whip in waiting. So basically, cast on, finish, whichever, everything's cool. And please do post both on Instagram and Ravelry, and if you don't use either of those platforms, then please do just drop me an email and I will try and show it on the podcast. So that's it for admin. If we go into, I think I explained last week, I've got a much shorter rotation at the moment. So it's a day 4 rotation rather than a day 6. So you'd think I'd have more progress, wouldn't you? But no. But day 1 is socks, and that's here. And that's still living in my little Fibre Fox bag because I haven't got around to finding a different bag for it. Now, socks are the one thing that I seem to missed out on this week. I'm not quite sure how I managed it, but I didn't really knit much of my socks. So I am doing my lunar socks, which is named after my lovely cat that I lost last year. And that's the one that you saw last week that I hadn't finished the heel flap, and I still haven't finished the heel flap. I really need to get back to that one. I might leave that out on my desk actually. Okay, so the ball of yarn has gone between the legs of my tripod, so I apologise if there's some shaking now. Honestly, I have 2 tripods up at the moment because I still have my crazy set up so I can see and make sure I'm showing you stuff in the middle because of my screen going on my camera. So I have done a little bit more on this, although it doesn't look it, but I have finished the heel, the gusset decreases, gusset decreases now. So I'll be able to take my stitch markers off next round, and then I'm going to go back to that other pair of socks. So this I do my socks on 2 circulars, so 2 circular go, and this is a 60 stitch count, and they're 2.5mm licky needles, which is my favourite for just vanilla socks. The yarn was gifted to me from my lovely friend Kate, and I think it's a twisted limone. I need to look that up on my notes. I keep saying to myself I'll look it up on my notes, but isn't it pretty? Matched with this red mini, I feel that it's a kind of a Christmas pair of socks, so I'm thinking I might just put them in my Christmas box of socks when I'm finished. And I love them very much, so looking forward to getting those finished. And the progress keeper on there, which I haven't moved, is from my friend Katie, who is one of our moderators and has Candy Mint Apple on Etsy. Yeah, so I need to work on these. Today is sock day, so hopefully, because I'm editing, I will get some of this done. I know I knit on them because I was knitting on them when I was editing the podcast last week, so don't know, I haven't got more progress. But that's day 1 socks. Ooh, coffee time. My morning coffee. It's decaf. I don't know why I feel the need to tell you that every time, but I only have 1 cup of coffee. Just try that again. Cup of caffeinated coffee a day in the morning. So I'm on decaf for the rest of the day. I'm caffeinated enough. Right, so day 2 Day 2 is my wrap, isn't it? Which is that one. I didn't pile these very well. So day 2 is the Brioche Adventure Wrap, and that's hanging out in my Elderflower Stitches bag. And I've got, let's just show you this. This is the pattern. Oh, it's very pretty. And it's by, I think it's pronounced Jonatan Tollow. Could be Jonatan, but I'm thinking maybe that's a yes sound, not sure. I apologise if I am missaying that. And I'm using my Lay Family Yarn Advent from 2020. And this one I have made some progress on. So I was where I still haven't swapped this. I had a really pretty progress keeper kicking around my desk, which it isn't anymore. Where did I put that away to? This little bag that my friend Katie made me. Let's have a look and see if it's in there. No, I don't know where that went. Obviously put that away last night somewhere safe, probably not to be seen again. Anyway, never mind. So I was there when you last saw this, and I have done a full section, and I'm about to change from the green into this brown as the main colour. I don't think I've chosen what colour is going to go with it yet. So this is how it's looking. And you'll be pleased to know that this time I had the correct amount of stitches on the needles. I didn't have to do any finagling at all. But it does sort of lend itself to finagling, which is kind of good. So here's a question for all my lovely experienced viewers who know more about brioche than me. Do you block brioche? Because I feel that this, other than kind of needing the edges straightened a bit, doesn't really need blocking. So let me know, do you block brioche? Isn't it lovely? I'm now beginning to wish I'd done it as a rainbow, but I don't think I was in that headspace when I started this. But I am going to finish. There's another brightish blue, so I'm going to finish on another blue at the end. But I love this. I particularly love this section from here to here. I love how that's looking. So this, I'm showing you the right side at the moment, and then you turn it over. I'm going to have quite a few ends to sew in at some point, because no, I'm not doing them as I go. I probably should, but I like weaving ends anyway, so it'll be just as well. And this is the wrong side. I just love it. I love how it looks. I think those two colours look really similar, that one and that one, but they're not in real life. So that's a camera whoopsie. But yeah, so I love that, and I'm using chalgoo needles because I am finding that easier with brioche, and these are 2.5mm needles. I'm not sure what the pattern, did we look this up last time? What did the pattern call for? I don't know whether I've got that piece of the paper. Or did it tell you? Needles. But according to this, I'm supposed to be using a 3.5mm needle, so oops, mine's not going to come out as big as... I wonder if that was I was desperate to cast it on, so I decided I was going to use a 2.5, or whether these actually are a 3. I don't think they are. No, that is 100% a 2.5mm needle, so mine's going to be smaller. I'm not changing that now. Maybe the next one I'll do on a 3.5 and see what the difference is. But I love it, and it's going to be really pretty and cosy and warm. I've really enjoyed it, and I am going to knit another one because it's so much fun. So that's that one. So that's day 2. another slurp of coffee, I think. Day 3 is my Felix, and that's living in my bag from Woolly Goodness. And this is the Felix sweater by Savory Knitting. And I struggled with this week. I have done quite a bit of knitting on it, but I think the rows are getting quite long now. And now there's definitely a progress keeper on this. There it is. I've got the little ghosty. So Laura, who is the Lonely Knitter, and these are on her shop, which is Crafter's Balm. Oh, he does not want to go around the right way, does he? Let's just take him off and put him around the other way. Hold on. Right, let's see if he'll behave now. That's her little Valentine polymer clay stitch marker. So it's a little ghost, and I believe it glows in the dark. Haven't tried that, but believe it glows in the dark, and it's carrying a little heart. He's super cute. So he's marking my progress, and I have done 3 repeats, I think. Now somewhere along the line, I was writing out my numbers for this. Somewhere along the line I went wrong with the writing out, not with the knitting. The knitting's fine, but my stitch count was not matching up to my numbers that I'd written down. So I worked it back, and somewhere I'd gone wrong, so I had to rework it. But I think I'm on my last raglan increase repeat, and then I'm going to go into, what do we do after that? Is it join it for the, yeah, you join it for do the sleeves, I think. Hold on. Things you should never do on the podcast. Well, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that. Yeah, you divide the body and the sleeves. It says work even in stocking stitch until the yoke measures 14 inches. I think that's going to be very close to it, so I don't think I'll have to do much more on that. And then it's divide the body and sleeves. So at that point it gets a little bit easier, and I always do my sleeves next. So that is how it's looking. So I am doing the largest size because I wanted a oversized jumper to go over my new dungarees that I've got, which have turned up. They fit nicely, but they need a wash because they're quite stiff. I don't know about you, but I like softer denim, so I like it after it's been washed a couple of times. And I'm using this commercial yarn, whose label has escaped. Hold on, I have more. I grabbed the white one because I was talking about the white one last week, wasn't I? So I've got as many balls as this too. So I might make another one in white or a cardigan, one of the two. So this is James C. Brett Aztec Aran with alpaca. It's 90% acrylic, 10% alpaca. It's theoretically machine washable, but I'm not going to machine wash it. It says knits to most Aran patterns, and it's shade AL1. This one is not shade AL1, it's shade AL3. Hold on. I have a whole basket of it behind me. AL4. So that's shade AL4. So these are 100 gram balls, I think. Yeah, I think it's a 100 gram ball. So that's what I'm using. It is really soft. The pink is softer than the white, which is bizarre, but maybe the pink has been a bit more handled because it's been in my bag, whereas this has been sitting just on the floor. It's not on the floor, it's in a basket on the floor. Okay, so I got interrupted out of that, and I can't remember how much I told you about this. So I'm thinking we're pretty much done, but just to round it off, I would hold it up again for you to see it, and I love it. It's so pretty. Oh, it's so lovely. It's such a pretty colour too. Right, so that is day 3 and the Felix pullover. So day 4, which is the last day in my rotation, is my Squiddle Village. And that's hanging in my Elderflower Stitches bag. I love this bag so much. So pretty. And I've got dirt on it from my husband's car, and I was fuming. It was kind of his fault, but wasn't. It was my fault. I should have been more careful, but equally he told me the car was unlocked, so I walked sort of straight into the door and it wasn't. But never mind. Right, so I have finished all of the February squares now, and I have joined on another row. So we've got, this is the next row, all joined on. I love how this is coming out, it's so pretty. I fold it in half. I might be able to hold it a bit better in frame. So yeah, there's that, and then there's that, and then this was the last of the February squares. There's these 3, 4, there's 4 here, 4. So there's these 4. I loved this particular one, this pink is so pretty. And now I'm starting the March pack, and I've got that square done, that square done, that square done. This is pretty. It's sort of a grey blue and a peachy pink. It's very pretty. And that square done. And I'm just starting this colour. Again, this is very pretty. It's sort of a peach with a yellow and sort of flecks of darker grey. Very pretty. So, oh, where's that gone? That's completely gone. Oops. So I can get 2 squares just about out of one of these minis, and I'm doing a 6 round granny square, and then each time I finished a round, so if you can see I've got the 4 in the middle there. So I started with 4 clusters of 3 granny stitch, and then once I get to there I slip stitch it, and then I go up for my next row, but then I turn it round, and that way you get a very square square. And I think you can agree the squares are very square. And then I'm joining them together with just using a double crochet down the middle of each of these, and then I'm doing a long one when I'm joining the strips on. So there's a long stretch of double crochet in the middle there. And I love it. I really do love this blanket. It's bringing me so much joy, and I'm hoping that because they don't take long, these squares, bearing in mind I'm on March now and it is only January, I am hoping that I'll actually stick with this. I don't know whether I'll be entering into Kelly's KALS, because I don't know if you're supposed to do them in each month. So I've taken a photo of the end of January and I've taken a photo of the end of February. So
I'm having trouble hearing you. Sorry, could you say that again?
Flipping Siri. I mean, if he can't hear me, you've got no hope. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know whether I can enter the KALS, but even if I can't, I'm loving this blanket as it is. So that's day 4. The only other thing I've got is my square a day, which is my Cosy Memory blanket. Now I have taken a photo of this squared off, so that should be on the end on my little vloggy bit. So as you can see, I am mid-square. Well, I'm not even mid-square, am I? That's as much of my square as I got done this morning, which is not a lot, is it? I got distracted this morning. Anybody else playing Wordle? I got distracted. So anybody else is playing Wordle, yeah, that was the result of my Wordle this morning. So I want to finish that while I'm editing today. So I've got socks in this today. So that's how my little Cosy Memory blanket is beginning to look. And I love it. It's so much fun. At the moment, all of the minis I'm putting in are bumbling yarns. So that's the Crafter's Balm and Lonely Knitter. And I've did that. So since you last saw this, I did that one, halfway through that one, and no, it didn't square off with that one, and I squared off with that one. That you've already seen, so I squared that one off. So it's growing slowly but surely. It'll become difficult to show on the podcast soon, won't it? But I am enjoying it. That's my square a day. Right, let's see if I've got any coffee left. I have a little bit. It's a happy mail. I got a club. One of my clubs turned up. So this is the Giddy Yarns Beatrix Potter. Let me just give it its proper title. Beatrix Potter Sock Club 2022. So that's Giddy Yarns. That's my lovely friend Helen. And I've chosen the DK base because I'm not making socks with mine. I'm planning on making a jumper with mine. And I really like that. It's so pretty. Very Peter Rabbit. I think the blues are showing up quite well actually. Look at the end of that. That's beautiful, is that? It's all speckly. It's such a soft base. I love the 100% Superwash Merino DK base. It's such a soft base. And oh, where is it? Oh, this is my other, which was mini eggs from last year, from last Easter. So I am thinking that I am going to be knitting a jumper out of these two and subsequent ones of the club. So that was the general idea. I love these so much. I love mini eggs. It's such a pretty mini eggs colourway. So yeah, so those are those two. The next one is not Happy Mail, but something I did at the weekend. So if you are a Patreon, and on the all the tiers, so this is for all the tiers, I did I had to go dyeing a skein of yarn at the weekend, and the remit I wanted was rainbow speckles on a plain background, on an undyed background. And I think if you've ever seen any of my dyeing videos in the past, you'll know that I don't normally achieve that. I have an idea in my head and it looks nothing like it. Oh, my hair's falling down. So we had to go at dyeing it. If you want to see the full one of those, it is on my Patreon channel. And I was going to show you the results though. I'm pretty pleased with it. It's not as rainbowy as I wanted it to be, but there are a lot of little rainbow speckles in it. That bit is quite rainbowy. There's a lot of undyed, which is what I was going for. It's too blue. I didn't want as much blue as it is. I struggle with the blues and the purples. They do seem to overwhelm the other colours. But there is, look at that strand. Can you see that strand? Is that focusing? It has got the yellow and the red and the green on it as well. So yeah, so I was quite, I mean, look at the state of this. This is some yarn. The yarn base is some from China, which I got on eBay very cheaply so I could play around dyeing with yarn. It is very soft and it's supposed to be merino nylon, but it's incredibly thin. It's not a plump base at all. It's a very high twist. And it was the messiest skein I think I've ever seen in my life. So I've got all these bits hanging out the bottom that I think are going to be a complete nightmare when I come to cake this up. But I want to, when I've finished my 2 socks that I've got, I want to cake this up and start my summer socks with it. Yeah, I really like it. I was very pleased with it. Not quite how it was too blue, not quite how I envisaged it, but I absolutely adore it, so I'm not complaining. I love it. So I did that, and as I said, if you want to see the whole video, that is on my Patreon channel. If you would like to become a patron, I would be very grateful, because I need a new camera, because currently my camera is there and my phone is there because my screen has broken on my camera. So to make sure I've got everything in shot, I need to look behind you at my screen. And if you are a higher tier Patreon, I did a journal with me video, which I've done in this journal, which is my Traveller's Notebook journal. This is available from Rachel So Remy. and I decided I wanted to, I located a little flower press that I'd got from Sherry Iris and realised there were some flowers in it, and I wanted to put those flowers into my journal. So I did a page in my journal for my flowers, and that was how it came out. Again, very pleased with it, very pleased with it. And if you'd like to see that, if you want to become a higher tier patron, it is on my Patreon channel. But I do show the whole process, speeded up because it did take me a while to sort it out. But I love this a lot. I'm really pleased with it. So that was that page. I can't show you the page before because that is all wedding. There's so many wedding pages in here where Kate went to get her wedding dress, which was the last time she was well, bless her. But yeah, so those things like that is a Friday Adventure page. Oh, double egg and sausage muffin, those are the days before I was on my diet and I could have food like that. But yeah, so I'm enjoying doing the odd page in this. The idea is I'm going to try and do a page weekly on my Patreon's channel. Because my cooking one, I was supposed to do one which is cooked for the book, and that's just not happened. So we're going to go with journaling and dyeing at the moment. These are not how-to videos, I hasten to add. This is just how I've done mine. Right, so that's it, I think, for content this week. Life update, quick life update. Katie is now out of hospital. She came out last Wednesday. She's not able to be left on her own really yet. She can for a little while, but she's struggling. She's not likely to eat, and she's not likely to move unless she's got someone there nagging her. So we're all taking it in turns to be with her, and as I said at the top of the episode, Dan is off today on a standby day, so he's looking after her today. I will be going down tomorrow. And luckily with my job it is totally portable, so I can work from her house. And in fact last Thursday when I was there I had a really busy work day. I was like, I don't need this to be this busy today, but as long as I'm there to remind her to move and make her some food, that's all good. And to be there for company, because you know what it's like, if you're not feeling great, you don't really want to be on your own, do you? Right, otherwise in other news, I have no other news. We are supposed to be going to stay in the caravan this weekend. We are supposed to be going on Friday, and I will come back here Monday morning, and Ian will take the caravan back to our storage facility. And if I do that, I will vlog it, so you might see that before you see this actually. So hopefully we're going to be away in the caravan. When I say away, we have a caravan site just across town, and we're going to stay there for 3 days, because we just want to make sure everything's okay with the caravan. It's just been down to be has some few little bits of snags and stuff sorted out on it, so we want to make sure it's all in full working order before we'd actually take it away somewhere. And also then if we've forgotten anything, we're literally around the corner, so we're staying there. We're setting up on Friday and Ian's taking it back next Monday, so we're there for the weekend, but also we're literally 7 minutes from home, so if we need to come back we can. I think that's it for this week. There is a little bit of a vlog. You'll see a little bit of my process of my journal. You'll see a little bit of the dyeing that I did, but as I said, there is more of that on my Patreon channel. And thank you if you are a Patreon. And I think there's some other, there should be a really nice sunset, so be prepared. I might put that on the end, so if you get to the sunset bit, it's like the end of it, but it's really beautiful. We were lucky to watch the sun go down in the Ashdown forest on Friday night, and it was very pretty. Right, I'm going to leave it there. So I hope you're all okay wherever you are. Take care, and I will see you next week.